Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case out of Pima County, Arizona. A lot to cover tonight. Get ready on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace. Smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's the twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me
With me.
I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm in a unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and heard, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like.
We got mother chickens.
I'm an unbreakable soul. Through the fight and flame, my scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Let's go.
Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, nothing cold facts. Get the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, drop the cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Clutch. Mother chicken, mother chicken.
Coming in clutch.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. If you have a complaint about something and find your content is being used incorrectly, infringement was not done on purpose and will be rectified to all parties' satisfaction. Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world. And you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is May 21st, 2026. It is currently 6:37 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States of America. Good to see you all, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Tonight we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. Now, I was actually going to do a live on this call that Chris got last night, and I guess he took it down for, I'm sure, or definitely a reason. Um, so I'm going to have to ask you guys a little bit about it because I didn't get to listen to it. I've got about 10 minutes of it recorded that I haven't listened to yet. I don't want to play it because obviously our friend Chris from the interview room took it down, and I'm sure he took it down for a good reason, whatever that reason is. However, it just makes me question things more. You know what I mean? So, what was going on? My phone was blowing up last night when that was playing. Like, seriously, my phone and my emails, it sound like a lottery machine. Like over and over again. So, fill me in here. What was this call about? Everyone's like, I wish I could have heard it. I've got like 10 minutes, but again, I'm not going to play it because he took it down for a reason. Now, whether that is, he thought he might need it. I don't know. I don't know if felt like he needed to turn it in, that it shouldn't be public. I don't know. I don't know. But I did text and ask. I haven't got a message back yet or anything, but I'm sure we will see. I was listening to his live last night, and I flipped over because I was way behind because I had just ended my live stream, and then I had went over there, and I heard the guy for a couple minutes, but that's all. That's all. But we got a lot to talk about tonight either way. Let me know if you heard the call. Tell me about it. I need to know. I need to know what it was from. Okay, let me show you this, or let me read this. So one thing that I got, it was a guy allegedly named Aaron. He was 35, allegedly, moved from Louisiana to Arizona, Scottsdale to be exact, lives in an apartment with girlfriend named Athena. I think that was her name. They have a child and a dog next door, house all day. He also said his mom committed self-inflicted unaliving when he was 15 and she was living in Florida at the time. Okay. But I want to know about the case. What was so he mentioned LD. Who's LD? LD. Crazy Buck, I'm so bad with initials. So bad with initials. Guys, before we get started, if you would be so kind and please do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button, would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would consider sharing this live out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media, would be so, so thankful. Also, if you would consider hyping this video after the live stream on any of your mobile devices, phone, tablet, anything mobile. Oh, Luke Daly. What am I thinking? Sorry. See, I'm just really bad. I don't think with initials. I don't know. My brain never goes there. Um, would greatly appreciate that as well. So we mentioned Luke a lot. Very interesting. Again, we all have our thoughts and our theories in the Nancy Guthrie case. I certainly have mine. And by the way, Mr. Z, who I messaged last night, saw the message, but didn't respond. Didn't respond. Hey, Pam, good to see you. I don't know, lovies. I don't know. He called him LD. Hmm. Hey, Smiley. Good to see you, my love. How you doing? Good to see you. Pam, hello. Robin, bonjour. Lori, good to see you. Lisa, Aaron, the guy, did Nancy hire him to mount a TV? Don't know. Lori, but everyone was very interested in this call. He wanted Aaron to email him. Oh, okay. Well, what was strange to me was the change in Chris M when he was talking on the call. Well, Chris knows what he's doing, right? Chris definitely knows what he's doing. And still, works for the Cold Case Foundation. So, I don't know why he took it down, but like I said, if Chris took it down, he took it down for a reason. You can bet your assets on that, for sure. Yes, Chris turned on him 180. Good. He was interrogating him low key. Well, yeah, I mean, what you got to do. It's what you got to do. Yes, he sounded like RN. It was 2-hour interview with the guy. Damn. I hate that I missed it. I hate that. Chris, I need a link. I just need a link. I won't share it. I just need a little linky link, Chris, so I can listen. Okay? Please. Karen, tell him, Karen. Millie Mills, thank you so much. My friend, you're welcome. Millie Mills, love the screen name. Thank you so much, my friend. Cute little poochy pooch. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate that. Always late. Good to see you, my dear. 26 months. You're an OG. It's funny, always late. I used to dress up like this, based loosely on someone else, a real life person. And we called her Daisy Basham. And someone emailed me earlier and they said, Justin, I just came across a video of you dressed up like an old woman. And I'm like, those were the days. Those were the days. Funny. Thank you. So good to see you always. Miss Dolores. How you doing, girl? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much, Miss Dolores. Appreciate that very, very much. If you know, you know. Thank you so much, Miss Dolores. Appreciate that very much. And Miss Shannon, how you doing, girl? Appreciate you. Thank you so very much for your support. Really appreciate that, Miss Shannon. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Aaron was obsessed with Zodiac. Really? He knew about Bitcoin and how to hide ID, etc. And this, Justin, I was thinking about the days of cow suits. Yes. Yep. 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 Um, first time I seen you in here, Deb. Uh, so have a good day. It was epic and a tutorial of police interviewing, especially as Chris kept the guy talking about himself. His phone died and the guy called back in the live. So help me out here. Like what was he saying though that like made people interested in him? You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to like what before I get into any of this stuff tonight, like I want to know like what aren't you saying that made people and Chris's ears to perk up? You know what I mean? Oh, thank you again, Millie. Appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much. You make me a believer in goodness, honey. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you, Millie Mills. Thank you very much, my dear. Appreciate you. Very, very kind support and very, very kind comment. I appreciate that. Um, the clouds don't stay out forever. You know what I mean? So thank you so much, love. I appreciate you. His voice, Zodiac. Okay. But I mean, okay. Okay. So he's obsessed with Zodiac stuff. Big deal. That's, you know what I mean? I mean, it's Chris' obvious shift was what made everyone perk up. But so he was talking about Luke, right? He was talking about Luke. Did he say he knew anybody? Did he like what was it? I need to know. Thank you, peace. Chris, that he might be an RN. Someone probably taped it. Chris did flip and quickly. He was very evasive, Lori. Justin, was that too loud bangs in your house? Oh, that was fireworks. Fireworks. 'Tis the season already, I guess. Yep. He was discussing multiple theories he had about the case. Thank you, Trishy. Thank you so much. He was discussing multiple theories about the case, and he was all over the place. He also had a lot of knowledge about the area, her neighborhood, for one. Interesting. Thinks her body is concealed. Yes. So, you know, again, you've got to ask the question, right? Why has law enforcement not really searching still yet for Nancy? And you don't know why they're not allowing really anyone to come in to search for her either. And that kind of makes me wonder, do they, like I don't guess I mean, she could be in a landfill, I suppose, but, think about this. Trigger warning. But with these people liking cars, if it's related in any way, shape, or form, if they got rid of the car, they sent it to the crusher, or anything like that, you might never know. You might never know. Knew a lot about Bitcoin, talking about LD and girlfriend. Hey, Linda, good to see you, honey. He made a comment that Megyn Kelly, Monks and Briny are moving on to other cases. Well, we all move on to other cases, you know what I mean, as they come about. I wish Chris would have kept him talking more. I mean, some people said that he was talking for 2 hours. I don't know if that was true or not. But all of a sudden, he played a good cop, bad cop, and turned it around, which she could feel the guy back up. I would have loved to have listened longer. He also sent a mail to Nancy's neighbor to pry. Oh, he was the one. Oh, you remember, sometimes when these people call in, you don't know if they're just a lunatic or if they're legit, so you got to really fill them out, which I know Chris will. Listening to him, it felt like he had someone locked in his house. Silence of the Lambs, weird. It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Just an introvert true crimer, I think, until Chris started interrogating the guy. Took the guy a hot minute for Aaron to realize what was happening to him. I think Chris pretty much got his location. Oh, Chris, well, trust me, uh, there's ways to get pretty much anybody's location. I mean, unless if you're using just a couple different maybe programs or whatever. Um, Although Chris was smooth with it, it was obvious he was steering a normal conversation to get more info. Sure. The panel got real quiet except for Chris. Yes, it did sound like someone crying in the background. And he said no one was at his house. He went out on porch. Chris said he knew his name was not Aaron. Either crying or a dog. Could have been a dog. Mm. I think I think Bob chiming in last night was wonderful. He was trying to actually pick his brain where he thought Nancy would be. That's a good question to ask. Where do you think Nancy is? The guy was either muting him or hung up. He called back 3 times, but they could swear that they heard him breathing. Damn, I want to listen to that call. If they asked him a question, they remained silent until he answered, no matter how long it took. Well, that's what you have to do. When you interview, there's an art to interviewing, and a lot of people truly have no idea how to do it, especially YouTubers. Um, and you have to be okay with silence. Now, one thing on air, you don't usually want silence. It's kind of a killer. It's a kind of, if you will, it's a deal breaker. People don't like silence. But in interviews like this, you have to be okay with the silence because that's when people feel like they have to fill that in so they get to talking. And that's what you have to be okay with. Yes, Josh could hear him breathing. Hmm. The guy, the RN guy, says his dog was his life. Hmm. It was from last night, yes. Our journey, yes, I noticed that. Also, what did Journey say? Well, you guys convinced me that Aaron was actually Richard in, so I'm good. The guy is the attention-seeking loon. And that's the thing, right? Uh, this guy could just be an attention-seeking loon troll. You don't know. Josh, guy tried to ask him something. Chris told him to be quiet. Wait, and the 2 others never said a word. Chris was just in his element. You know what I mean? He'll say, "Hold on, one second." I guarantee you had a visit today. Good, good. Um, you guys know kind of where I am on this case. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, in my opinion, that more than one person knows about this. What happened to Nancy? Again, they've been to multiple houses that we know of. And I believe this will be a very small ring, if you will, um, in this. I think it was planned orchestrated and carried out by multiples. I'm not saying it's like a big ass group or anything like that, but more than one home, if you will. More than one home. Annie claimed it was the neighbor's pug. Well, I know pugs bark a lot. My pug does. Chris kinda judged Josh early on. Chris was trying to make the comment with Aaron. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Josh knows. Josh knows. Yeah. You sent me a text. The link is from the inner room last night. I didn't see it yet. Is this the one you're talking about? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have the link from last night. We can go over some of it. Justin, did you see my comment earlier? I'm a member of this channel. Yeah, we see your member, baby. Thank you so much. I didn't see your comment earlier though. But thank you so much for being a member. I appreciate you very much. Thank you, love. Uh let's see here. Equus, thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you. Hola, Justin. I need a Espanol. Shit, I cannot. I don't know what it says. Híjole. Hold on one second. Let me. It's probably like Justin. You look like a Ellen DeGeneres. I don't know what it says. Hold on, let me see what it says. Translate for me. Translate for me this message. Okay. Let me see what it says. Hi, Justin. Do you think the FBI is investigating the person who called last night, or do you think only the family is involved? Or you can write, Justin, do you think the FBI is looking into the caller from last night, or do you think the investigation is focused only on the family? So thank you for that. Equus, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. I do believe, in my opinion, and it's just an opinion, I'm one of nearly 8 billion on the planet. In my opinion, they are focusing not I mean I believe they're looking at the members perhaps of the family or extended family. But I do believe there's outsiders. There has to, and this is the thing. I would more likely believe that it's not the family, like, than. So if someone just told me that it was just the family, I wouldn't believe it. I would not believe it. If someone said family, potentially family, and outsiders, I believe that. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because this man is not Tommaso, right? Again, not saying anyone is committed a crime or anything. I'm just giving you an opinion on that. This man is not Tommaso. And if this is not Tommaso, then it means if any of the family is involved, that means there has to be outside help, right? I'm sorry, Miss Eureka. So yeah, are we close to a break? I hope. I hope someone very close to the family Pebbles thinks. I fell asleep listening to it. Now I regret it. Generally, I rewatch when I get up. Well, it was on this morning, and I was going to watch it in just a little bit ago, and it was gone. So the guy seemed so mentally down. Several chatters started taking up for Aaron and getting Chris, but Chris kept him talking. Then he called back several times, and the whole chat was floored. I mean, Chris knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. I was so tired, but I listened to the end. Only the main reason would uh would make me think AT or T is involved is because the PH call from D out of Cali. That's not my main reason. I understand that that's a reason for you, and I take that. For me, it is them going in that house and staying a long time, going to the garage with those lights and all that. And again, you can say, well, they got to check. They got to check. If they can prove, in my opinion, where you're at. So this is the thing, right? Think about this. And again, we're not saying anyone is involved by any stretch of the imagination. We're just talking about theories here. But Tommaso allegedly drops Nancy off at 9:30, 9:40 that night, allegedly. And he supposedly goes back home. Done, right? But if they knew Tommaso went back home and didn't leave his house until he got a call or whatever saying, your mom didn't show up for church at the, woman's house. Why would they still be checking out? Why are they checking out his home? Right? That's the question. The inner room just took off the last caller, which I think that was the one. Now, and then they kept the car longer than any one of Tommaso and Annie's. Now, there is a rumor that they broke something and it took them time to fix it. Okay. And then, you see, it's not just usually one thing, it's these little things that kind of add up. And then after they took out bags of evidence from Annie and Tommaso's home, they went over to Nancy's home in the backyard and they were looking. And then the next day, they all are at Nancy's, FBI and all of them, and they run straight back over to Annie and Tommaso's house. And they're looking at the neighbors. They're looking in campers. They're looking in their backyards. They're looking in the desert. And you're like, why? Why? And then just some of their stories does not make sense. It doesn't really make sense. There's just some weird things when it comes to, you're not, it's not the end of the world, but you're not walking your mother-in-law in the home. She's 84 years old. She's feeble. She's got a bad heart. And this just happens to be most likely, like you had dinner with her that evening and just a few hours later she vanishes. So I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of weirdness there. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I don't want it to be. The last thing you want this to be is any family whatsoever, right? Chris edited out Aaron's whole call. Aaron was the last caller for about 2 hours. Yes. Yes. 1 second. I'm getting a message. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you for that. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me see here. Where are we at? Thank you, Equi. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. Gracias. Thank God for translation. Thank you so much, honey. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. All right, guys. Maybe that's why they can't find anyone but the family's DNA in the house. Well, no, that's not true. They did find others' DNA inside the home that was not the family's. And again, this is this is not Tommaso. I'll argue with this to anybody till the day of judgment. This is just not Tommaso. Tommaso is a lot older man. That ain't Tommaso. And that's the only person that at least the public knows. And I would think that if law enforcement had pictures of another guy, think about this. Think about this. I do believe a lot of us think that this guy did not act alone, right? But think about this. If law enforcement had a photo and or a video of another person, don't you think they would show it to us? Because they're asking the public who this guy is. Well, if they had a picture of a video of another person, don't you think they would show it? Why wouldn't they? They either know who it is or there's no other person, right? Looks like a band member to me. My opinion knows the neighbors. Maybe, maybe. I agree that it is not tomato. Yeah, yeah. The guy there is. It's just not Tommaso. I saw the video of Aaron, and an hour later, it mentioned of the lives was taken out. Porch guy eyes were very round. T's eyes are kind of slanted, not T on the porch. Yeah, it's not. It's not Tommaso. I don't know if they'd show it. They might be saving it for some reason that I don't know. But uh, but here's the thing. Why would you save? Why would law enforcement save if there's another person and they don't know who it is? Right? Now, if they can identify this person and they don't need the public's help, kumbaya, fine, right? But I don't know. I think, in my opinion, this person did this alone, meaning went in there alone and did this. However, I do think there was maybe a driver that was around the corner that might have picked them up or whatever. They could have been hired. They could have done it for thinking that there was money or whatever. I don't know. I think Chris shouldn't have let him talk a little bit longer and not gone for the throat of the end. You should have let this guy just keep talking. I don't know. I mean, I missed it all. Hey, Jude, good to see you, honey. I agree, Kathleen. I was shocked over when Chris churned. Well, I mean, again, I'm sure he has. Amy, good to see you. I'm sure he has a reason uh, with everything that he does. Um, Where should I start? I don't even know where the hell to start. Let's when was this? 4 hours ago. Okay, we'll go to that. Oh, you guys know kind of like who I'm really eyeing right now. It starts with a Z and ends with the ac. And someone's, and everyone believes in what they believe in. I don't do psychics with true crime. I just don't personally, but a lot of you do. And people send me stuff all the time. And they sent this to me, and I'm like, wow, she actually sounds interesting. I do believe there are people that have a gift. I just believe it is very small, right? I think we all have intuition. Thank you, Hey Jude, for gifting a pearl necklace, my friend. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. If you received that, make sure you give our Hey Jude a big old thank you. So before we get into the stuff today, I want to show you this and just tell me what you think. Is it, BS hogwash? I don't know. But I thought this woman, uh, I don't necessarily agree with everything she says, but listen to what she says of she thinks the suspect is in the Nancy Guthrie case. Just want to hear what you guys have to say. Okay.
About the
And this is from mediumship.pr on TikTok.
Nancy Guthrie investigation. Over a month ago, I provided investigators with information that included the possibility of a refrigerated or freezer-style truck being connected to the case. The truck was white and it had a very sun-damaged decal that had a cartoonish T-bone, light gray fish, and chicken drumstick. Now, this may have shown up just to let me know what type of truck it was, or it may be actually how it looks. It also had damage to the passenger side
It's
rear
one up
bumper.
here when she explains.
Had a white license plate that had dark lettering and or numbering with a light blue or silver accent bar. The man that was driving had dark hair, medium brown complexion.
Okay, dark hair, medium brown complexion.
Oversized gold aviator glasses with.
It was the aviator glasses that got me, I think. I think it was the aviator glasses that got me, guys. Because you know who wears aviator glasses. You know who wears aviator glasses.
Very dark lenses. He was parked somewhere on a street and was pretending to read a newspaper or magazine. This detail has not been made publicly, and I'm not presenting it to be fact. It's not confirmed yet. I am sharing it because sometimes a single memory from someone in the area can help investigators more than people realize. If you remember seeing a freezer-style truck or refrigerated truck or unusual commercial vehicle near that neighborhood around that time or before, like in January, please do not post about it here. Instead, contact the FBI tip line directly. Call 1-800-CALL-FBI or tips.fbi.gov.
Well, let me I can show you. Because I know you guys are saying who, like your owls. You guys know I don't really get into the psychics or anything, but I was like, ooh, that's interesting. I mean, someone might out there might. I've got a picture somewhere. Let's see here. Right here. Let me show you. Right here she is. Again, not saying this person is involved by any stretch of the imagination, but I will show you a few things. Guys, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button or double tapping that screen. I do appreciate you all. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Damn. Why is it okay? Why is it not loading? Give me a second. Why is it not loading? Okay. I'll just let me just do it like this then. Um, I was trying to screenshot to make it easier for you guys. Like this one right here, right? There's an aviator, and then there's an aviator, right? And then there's an aviator, and then there's an aviator. No, Cindy, I'm not. No. Call her Aaron told Chris he does handyman work for the last 8 years. Chris needs to ask him, did you ever do handy work for Nancy Guthrie at her home? He installs things, cameras, question mark. Aaron says he can mount anything. Yeah, so did my ex. So anyway, that's a whole different story. Okay, moving on here. Want to show you a couple things here. Where should we start first? Where do I want to start? I got so much to pull up here. Oh, by the way, the bones of, you remember that bone they found that, they were like, oh, is it Nancy's or whatever? The prehistoric bone, guess how old it is? Guess how old it is? It's a little bit older than me. 750 years old. Yep. 750 years old. They did say it was prehistoric. Bone found near the Guthrie home predates her disappearance by 750 years. Archaeologist experts say the discovery is a cautionary tale about the coincidences of citizen investigators taking matters into their own hands. I think that's kind of a slap in the face to the people out there searching, to be honest with you, because the public is generally, if you're asking the public for help, don't bitch when they say, come here and look at this. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Okay. Okay. By the way, 60 Minutes Australia did a piece on Nancy Guthrie, by the way. So I want to tell you all that. Okay. Do we want to do which one first? Okay. Michael Roots from, I think he's from Fox. He said this on X. A new theory in the unsolved suspected abduction of Nancy Guthrie is a so-called wrench attack. The emerging trend is a combination of a quote mastermind plotter sitting at a computer, probably overseas, and street level thugs hired locally to carry out the abduction and to physically says Lisa J. Miller, a retired detective and law enforcement consultant from the Colorado excuse me, Attorney General's office. The name comes from a 2009 meme in which a frustrated hacker suggests buying a wrench for $5 and beating up someone who knew a password he couldn't crack. She said, the street level thug theory fits with what we're seeing in the Guthrie case because when the FBI released the pictures of this porch guy, and I referred to him from the beginning as Porch Monster. I mean, the guy comes across as a bit of a doofus, in quote, Miller told Fox News Digital. Look at this get up. Look at his get up. Look at how he carries his firearm. Yet there's some very sophisticated elements to this case that again falls in line with what we seen in a traditional wrench attack. For one, it's been more than 100 days since the early ransom demand emerged, and whoever sent him hasn't been caught. There's a combined $1.2 million for that hasn't been claimed. Dial 1-800 call FBI.
I'm hearing language.
Okay, listen to this. I want to take a drink of water.
And the language that we're seeing that Savannah Guthrie used in those first videos, that told me, because I'm trained by the FBI as a hostage and a crisis negotiator, I'm hearing language that I was taught in her dialogue that tells me that the FBI was taking these first notes seriously. I don't think for a minute, and I've said before from the early stages, that the FBI would have put Savannah Guthrie and her family through the trauma of recording those videos if they did not believe that there was something real behind these videos. So we see that, and yet there's been no arrest, no indictments.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you agree with this profiler? Do you think, I mean, one thing that she seems to be talking about is that there is kind of someone that would have hired, but why? But here's the thing: that I don't get about her. Why would someone overseas hire to do this to Nancy? I don't understand that part. Oh, the caller used the word rat, the rat that tried to get 1 Bitcoin. This may have been a term that made Bob Chris go, interesting. I personally think it's a maneuver to get Nancy out of Dodge due to the threats that the family needing to get her out of harm's way. This way, it made it look like she is deceased, so no longer looking for her. You think she's alive, Paige? Is that what you mean? What was her point exactly? She's saying that someone may have, like a more affluent person, may have hired this, but and paid someone who wasn't really sophisticated. So there's that. Okay, here we go. Let me pull this up. Okay, where is Chris now? Did you guys see let me find it. Did you guys see the Brian Enton with John Ramsey? Here you go. All right. Let me see here. I think it was this caller.
And I've listened to you a lot about this case. I wanted to ask you, you know how you have in effect.
Why do you think that they kept, and I don't know if you've already talked to it, I just jumped on a few minutes. Why do you think they kept Annie's car for so long? If they didn't find any evidence in that car, what would be the reason they would keep it for what, almost 50 days? Any idea, your thought?
Yeah, well, 41 days approximately, and you're right. That is a huge
41 days. And I'm sorry, I don't believe it was just to they broke something, right?
huge anomaly that you can get to the telematics within 2 days, 3 days easily.
Right.
And so then
and
the
then
next,
hair and everything else.
That's being
yeah, you
generous
can
too,
process
Chris.
that car within a week. And
So do you
typically that
think they found something?
we don't know. Yeah, we don't know. But I can tell you this, they kept it for almost 4
Yeah.
weeks, and then they sent it to the shop. That was another thing that people said, oh, why are you saying the time frame, et cetera? Well, I also told people where they
Okay, I'm going to say a little something right here. So, yes, it was. It was booked into evidence, certainly was. But that's anything is booked into evidence until it's either evidence or not. So it's kind of a general term. But this is the thing that makes me go, hmm. So the the Honda Pilot, it was an older Honda, which about 2015 is when the black boxes, the telematics get really sophisticated in the vehicles. So really, if you have like a 2015 or older, that's whenever it can tell you almost turn by turn, generally. Theirs was much older. And in my opinion, I believe the reason they might have kept that longer is because they didn't have as much in the telematics, and they had to look perhaps even closer at this vehicle, in my opinion. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, honey. If they had to remove bloodstains, floorboards, they would have to be replaced. Yes. Yes. Anything that they take out as evidence from that vehicle, they have to essentially put new in, right? So yeah, you're right. You're right. So I think that's why, in my opinion, this vehicle was kept longer, because it was much older than 2015 and the telematics wasn't there like a newer model would be.
repaired that vehicle at the Chevy dealer. Okay. And
Yeah, because
so
they took that thing to the bones.
yeah,
and they couldn't put it back together.
that's exactly right, brother. They tore it apart. I love your last name too. Good Irish name. Where are you
There you
from?
go. I'm
So
from
I gotta-
Boston, outside of Boston.
I was going to hear a little Boston in you. What part?
Oh, yeah. I'm outside of Boston in Newton. Right
In
outside
Newton,
of Boston.
Mass.
I'm only,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Newton,
I'm
Mass.
5 minutes away.
All
Yeah, I'm
right,
half
so
Italian, half Irish. If I had the Italian name, it would be Camelli.
there you go.
Then I'd just be a strict guinea
You
off
get
the
your-
boat. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you go on the north end out there and get off at
Beach India.
downtown to Park Street. So
Fast
Downtown
All right.
Boston. Hey, I got one more thing, one more quick thing for you guys.
hit me.
And I
hit
don't
me.
know if you. So the Google Nest, and I've
Yeah.
told this to a few other people. I'm still trying to figure out why it happened to me like it did and how I found it. So we had some porch pirates, and I did have a Nest, but I didn't have a subscription.
Okay.
So they took some important packages.
Yes, you
from
certainly
us.
can. You
So,
certainly can.
I come down to it, and my buddy who's a cop here said, why don't you call Google and see if they can find anything? And whoever tells you guys that Google doesn't keep video, they're telling you stories. They went back as far as they needed to find my packages and the person that took them, and they found them, and they turned over that video to the police. And I didn't have a subscription. They record everything. It's somewhere in the site. So whoever says that they can't find it's lying.
Let me tell you something. They track everything. You the other day when I said baked beans, douche, and a lawn chair, I got an ad, I swear to you, for douches. I'm not joking. I wish I was.
lying because they can. I never had a subscription. I never will. I have my own security now, but the video's there.
Mr. McLaughlin, we love you, buddy. Go Red Sox.
Yeah, right. Please. Did you have to say that? Really?
I got, yeah, I got, no, the socks are the best. Hey, that green
yeah.
wall, if you can hit it over that green wall, you are somebody, something, you
I
know,
can't even get it in the outfield. And
an
the
old
green
Yaz
wall.
guy, an old Yaz guy. You know
Yeah.
what? I used to work with, Bob and
I
I
don't think
both
it had
used to work with an
timestamps.
old Red Sox guy, a guy named Jack Brohammer. That name ring a
Okay.
bell?
A
So
little
Jack,
bit. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I went to the academy with Jack, and
Nice.
he had just gotten out of the MLB because
SD, this is the thing. Nobody is, everyone is innocent until proven guilty, right? And it's nobody until people are charged, which means, before someone is charged, they have to gather everything. And this is a massive, massive case. So I would think that whomsoever did this, they are collecting all of that and fixing my camera there and putting it all together, because they have to, the police have to give it to the prosecutors, all the evidence, and they have to tell a story, right? For instance, Nancy left in an Uber, right? She had dinner. She came home at approximately 2:30. Whoever came in the house, and then they was there 40 some minutes, and then they drove southbound on whatever. So they've got to collect all massive amount, and not only they can't collect the minimum amount. Again, they have to collect overwhelming. You can't have just the minimum, because a judge can say, nope, we're not going to have that in court. We're going to throw that out. So you have to say, okay, well, if you're going to throw that out, here's another avenue to prove that this person did X to Nancy, right? It's not just, there has to be multiple paths for law enforcement and prosecutors to convince the court, to convince a judge or a jury that it's overwhelming. You know what I mean? So,
he had an injury. Long story short, I'm running alongside this guy, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Jack Brohammer." And we find out that he played in the majors. What, 11 years, Bob? He played with Cleveland. He played with the Red Sox. Anyway, so I got, and all my family's from Boston. So you're in good shape, brother.
Well,
Chris.
I was going to call back maybe on the next show, say something, but with that last comment about go Red Sox, this is my final call. I can't handle it. I can't take that Red Sox stuff.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm trying to find a new team right now, but
Well, the Padres are available, or the Dodgers. But
okay.
The Rockies.
Hey.
Thank you, Jen, for sending 550 joules. Really, really do appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very much. And Brandy, thank you for sending the 2 joules. Really appreciate that. Annie, thank you so much for sending the 200 joules. And thank you, Rhonda, for sending 200 joules. Really appreciate that, my friends. Okay, and there is just one other timestamp I want to show you.
Supporting the show. Have a good evening, young lady.
Emily passed away on the 16th.
Yes.
Yeah. Jim was a good workman.
Tell you something? We had someone called in. We have a vacant home in our little community, and
it's a little
someone
scratchy.
called in at 7 in the morning on Mother's Day and said they saw a couple of youngsters, young 20-ish type, coming out of it with bundles like blankets or something. and they called the police. And the president of the HOA asked me to go down and see if I could find out anything, because I'm the HOA neighborhood watch. And they come out of the backyard with their guns drawn. And it was not something I'm used to seeing, because it was a vacant house. It wasn't a critical thing, but anyway, there were 4 of them. But what I wanted to ask on Nancy Guthrie, this is what's really bothering me. How can they say they've searched everywhere if they haven't drained the septic?
Well, we don't know if they didn't send cameras or anything like that down there. But to your point, you're right. We don't know that for sure that they've done that. Hopefully, hopefully they have.
Which they were poking and prodding that septic tank as well. I'm sure that they sent cameras or something there. I'm sure.
Because it's the closest, most accessible place.
Yeah, it's scary. It is if they haven't done that. And yeah, well, thank you, by the way, for being the eyes of the neighborhood.
I think it's the next caller.
Yes,
sure you can hear me.
Yes, we got you.
Okay. My question is this. Now, this thing has been so crazy. There's so many holes, like you said, red flags lining up. What was discussed at the house? Did she go home? She had to go home if the phone was connected to her at that time. My question is, why did they take so long to call 911? Were they there to clean up things? I mean, it's just so, that was my mother. I would have been on the phone as I'm going to my mother's house saying, listen, my mother's 84 years old. She didn't show up for church. She's not answering her phone. I'm heading to her house now. Can I have an officer there?
Josh looks sleepy.
Calm down. Why do you wait an hour? What, you're searching around? Why? It's a red flag. It's just, they're the last one to see her. And then they said he watched her go in. Then some people are saying he walked her. And what is it? They don't tell you anything. I know, like you said, you don't give out too much information because you don't want, but even Nanos, he flunked closing down that thing. You had pizza delivery guy driving up there. You had the UPS guy driving up there. You had the woman leaving the card on the door. And
Chris.
Get me wrong. I know it's a TV.
Great comment. Thank you so much for calling in. Lots of red flags that you pointed out there. Let's go to Carrie. Carrie, thank you so much. You're in the program. What's your question? Carrie? I think you're muted. There you go. How are you?
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing well. Thank you.
I just want to tell you that I love all 3 of you. And Chris, I love your panels.
Thank you.
And I watch you religiously. I guess my question is, if Nanos was...
I was reading a tweet, and Chris says this all the time, and I have adopted this saying because it's very true. I guess he said it differently last night. We live three types of lives on this earth. Do you know what they are? We live the public, the private, and the secret life. And everyone has that. Everyone. There is the public life that we are right now, right? We have the private life that we are with our family, our friends, our closest people, like intimate. And then we have the secret that we would never tell anybody. It's our, your demons or maybe something you did, whatever time ago, whatever, it's usually not unaliving someone, obviously, but the secret self. And he is so right on that.
Somehow thrown off the case. How do you think they would go about solving the case or moving forward with the case? I guess I'm asking you and Bob what you guys would do if they had to start over at ground zero.
So,
Yeah, I'll let Bob answer that. And thank you for your question. And we'll answer that. And I'll let you run. Appreciate you. Okay.
Well,
Bob?
Carrie, I'm not sure that they would need to start over because remember the FBI has been involved. I realize they came in a little late.
Where did that come from, Sammy? Clutch, some alleging to be Nancy Guthrie's friends is alleging Nancy Guthrie hurt her arm Friday when she went out front to show friends her red potted something blooming early, bled on game table, bled car ride home. She may have hurt her arm, but I definitely don't think it's the blood on the front porch at all. Mm-mm. Nancy would have, she would never just leave blood like that. Mm-mm. Text me.
Or, 4 days into the investigation. But I do believe that.
Yeah. So for those of you that, I just got your text. Chris actually took this caller out of the live stream. And the Aaron guy, for whatever reason, I don't know, but I'm sure he has a reason.
The information that the detectives and the FBI agents have put together is solid. And so I don't really think you would have to start over. To appoint a new person in charge of the investigation would probably be a good thing. But at this point, I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. Quite frankly, I don't think Nanos is really involved as much as we think or the media thinks he is. Now, I know everyone...
Which is a good thing if you ask me. I don't think, if the FBI is notifying the family now, I think that's a good point that the FBI is not taking over the case, but I believe that they are steering the case.
Everyone's running around saying he's in charge of the investigation, and technically that is true. He's the sheriff. It's his case, his department's case, so therefore he's in charge. But I don't really think that he is having that much to do on a day-to-day basis with the case. The detectives and the agents are going to continue working hard on this. And so I wouldn't really do a whole lot different.
Yeah. Great comment. Great question. Thank you so much, Carrie. Let's go to Danyaka.
Okay.
I think the best way to, I'm learning here, because this is like the third time I've ever done a call-in show, is I think the easiest way is when you ask your question, if it's okay with you guys, we'll go ahead and answer that question and we'll go to the next person lining up here, because we've got like 6 or 7 folks already behind you. So if that's okay with you, we give everybody.
Okay. We're going to go to Savannah now for a second, because I want to show you guys something on this. I think it's part 1.
Day was, I guess, a normal weekend for you.
Yeah.
The weekend your mom went missing. Tell me what you were doing and what happened.
Well, I had given Mike for Christmas a boys' trip to go play tennis. And so he had been gone for the weekend. So I took my kids actually to Carson's. Mm-hmm. So we had a beautiful, fun night together. And then I came home. And really, it just got home at the same time that Mike came home. We were just saying hi, putting down our...
Yeah, I believe the blood in my opinion, was after. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Uh, I don't think the blood was there. I don't think she hurt her arm. I mean, she might have hurt her arm, but I don't think it was enough for it to bleed on the floor, if you will. And whatever happened to Nancy, I think happened right after this right here.
Stuff, and the kids were running around. And my sister called me, and I said, "Is everything okay?" And she said, "No." She said, "Mom's missing." And I said, "What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?" She said, "She's gone." And she was in a panic. I was in a panic. I'm like, "Call 911."
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second.
"She's gone." What?
Wait.
I said, "No." She said, "Mom's missing."
Hold on.
And my sister called me, and I said, "Is everything okay?" And she said, "No." She said, "Mom's missing." And I said,
She said, "No, mom's missing."
"What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?" She said, "She's gone."
She's gone. Now, that's normal. I think that's perfectly normal, in my opinion. But the things afterwards, to me, is just not. But again, maybe she's not describing it right. I don't know.
And she was in a panic. I was in a panic. I'm like, "Call 911."
Yeah.
She's like, "I did. We've called them. They're here." And we thought.
You see, here's the thing. She says, "Mom's gone. She's not here. She was in a panic. I said, call 911." If Annie was to call, you would call your sister or your siblings and say, "Mom's not here. Things are weird. Has anyone heard from Mom? The back doors are open. Have you heard from Mom? Call 911. We did. They're here." Again, I don't know if you could be, after 911 shows up, police, they're going to want to know, like, what the hell did you walk into? Tell us what's going. So to me, that had to be a little bit later after they called Savannah. Like to me, that wouldn't have been just 5 minutes after the call showed up. Because once the police get there, you're going to be talking. You're not going to be on the phone.
That she must have had like some kind of medical episode in the night, and that somehow, the paramedics had come because the back doors were propped open.
Okay. Now, again, I'm really trying to be very fair here because my heart breaks for Savannah. And I understand in these times you wanting to rationalize and make sense of something that's very chaotic. That's what our brains naturally do. That's why people speculate. That's why people theorize, is because we have to make sense of it, of a circumstance that doesn't make sense. But how can I say it? Let me just.
Medical episode in the night, and that's.
However, think of it this way. If there was this medical episode in the night, don't you think one of them would have been notified? Wouldn't you think that, I mean, they could have left the doors open, but would they? Why would her wallet and her phone and everyone still be there? Jan, thank you so much. Appreciate you, my dear. 8 months. Appreciate you. I would call my siblings immediately. I would too. I would be calling my siblings. I would be calling neighbors even before I got there. Right. We have, and we have all at some point or another not, hey, Magdalena, gotten in touch with someone we love or cared about. And we've called another person and say, hey, have you talked to so and so? It's a normal thing. Thankfully, generally, they're always okay. But we make that call beforehand, right? Because you don't necessarily want to call 911 and you're just overreacting or you're not making sense of it at the time. You know what I mean? So there's that. Oops, let me see here. Thank you so much, Beth, for the 200 joules. Really do appreciate you, my loves. Thank you so very, very much. And thank you again there, Jan, for 8 months. Appreciate you very much, my dear. Who else? Thank you, Beth, for the 200 joules. Really, really appreciate that, my dear. And Jetty, thank you for the 100 joules. Thank you so much. And Luck, thank you for the 12 joules. Thank you so much, my friend. And Don, thank you for the 10 joules. Appreciate you. Renee, thank you for the 10 joules. Appreciate you. And Granny, thank you for the 10 joules. Appreciate you, my friend. Very much. Very kind of you. Tuss says, or a group text. Yeah, exactly. A group text. I mean, that would be interesting to know if they even had did they have like a group text where they can, but that's what a lot of families do, right? You have a group text. So there's that. She was coming up with stories right away. Hi, Justin. It's a little weird. I really try to be really fair here with this, but there is some weird things.
Somehow, the paramedics had come because the back doors were propped open, and that didn't make any sense. We thought maybe they came and there was a stretcher and they took her out the back. But her phone was there and her purse was there and all her things. And it just didn't make any sense. So, Annie and Tommy had already called all the hospitals, but then I'm like, I'm going to call the hospital. So then I started calling the hospital.
So for them to call I don't know, would you call the hospitals if, for instance, you didn't call see, this is the problem I have with this. I would call my siblings before I would call the hospitals. I would just call my siblings before I would call the hospitals. Put a 1 in the chat if you would call your siblings or their neighbors before you would call the hospitals. Put a 2 in the chat if you wouldn't. Just be honest. There's no right or wrong answer. Just want to know. Jan, thank you so much for I've got my phone out now. I can see these stickers. Thank you so much for your flow state sticker. Appreciate you, my dear. And T-Slay, thank you for the tulips, my friend. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Like a group chat or whatever. Okay. So everyone I see as of now says, yeah, they would. 1 and 2. I appreciate that, Village. Just Taco says, okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that. 1954 says, so you would call the hospital first. Okay. What reason did they have for raiding and getting warrants on people they did, even though let them go? Well, just because there's a warrant doesn't mean you're going to get arrested or arrested right now, right? To me, in my opinion, just my opinion, I believe specifically for the dailies, I believe they went and got warrants because of a few things. One, DNA. Two, their phones. And three, maybe other electronics or things in the home or the vehicle. So I think that's why. Now, they're not going to make an arrest because they have to test it, right? They have to test whatever they got the warrants for. So they're not going to, again, they're absolutely innocent unless and until proven guilty. Not saying that they're involved in any way, but they're going to have to test whatever they took before there's an arrest. And that's why in my opinion, I've said this since almost the warrants, I believe that they will be back at least one of those three residents again. They might be back at one of them. They might be back at two of them. They might be back at all three of them. But I do believe that they will be back. Right? Hospitals won't disclose who has been admitted. I don't know. I think you can call and say, I'm calling to, see if my elderly mother, was she taken out by an ambulance?
Hospitals and the police were there and talking to her at the same time, and it was just chaos and disbelief.
Within hours, Savannah was making the long journey home to Tucson.
You saw Annie and Kim when you got to their house. Tell me about that moment.
Just disbelief and hugging each other. And I think we were on the phone with the sheriff and trying to, really make clear from the very early moments, Annie and Tommy were saying, this isn't that case that you are used to where someone wanders off. She can't wander off. Mm-hmm. My mom,
this isn't that case. Now, this confuses me a little bit right here. Savannah's saying, this isn't that case that you guys are normally used to. She can't wander off. She's not able to, she says she can sometimes walk to the mailbox, most days not. Now, my question is, the sheriff said he brought in homicide immediately. The back doors are open. There's the lights torn off. The camera is torn off. And if they saw the blood up front and whatever else they saw, clearly she didn't walk off. Clearly. She's not going to rip her doorbell off, rip the back light off, prop the doors open, and gash herself, and then walk off. So that's a little question. You know what I mean? So who is saying, she just might have walked off?
She was in tremendous pain. Her back was very bad. She was trying to, on a good day, she could walk down to the mailbox and get the mail, but most days not. So there was no wander off. And the doors were propped open.
Yeah.
And there was blood on the front doorstep.
Yes. Exactly, Sandwich. You wouldn't even have to call the hospital if Nancy's phone showed she called 911 from her home. I'm sure that I don't even know if Nancy would have a password to her phone if they could log into it. But regardless, this is the thing. Any address you can FOIA, which I'm not saying they would had time to FOIA, but I'm just saying any address you can FOIA the entire history of where 911 or emergency services has ever came to that address. And you would think police would be able to pretty much immediately say, no, there was no emergency services here after you dropped your mother off. Right. So they know mom's password. We all know mom's password. Her eyes watered nonstop, but sometimes LE could rule that out faster. Yeah. And even if there was like, an ambulance or whatever, again, they would be able to show that. Yeah, and then, Savannah says, I want to call.
And the Ring camera had been yanked off.
Yeah.
I mean, you see a Ring camera yanked off and your back light to your house torn off. Nancy's not going to do that when she was, dropped off at 9:40 at nighttime last night.
And so we were saying, this is...
Do something.
This is not okay.
Yeah.
This isn't... Something is very wrong here.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about what possibly could have happened? Like, what could have happened? What went down? Did you...
I think my brother...
Listen to this.
I mean, my siblings are so amazing. My brother, he spent his career in the military.
That is a precious picture. I think that is just an absolute precious picture of Cameron and Nancy. That makes me want to tear up. If you've got elderly parents or had elderly parents, they get so frail and, they become just a size of what they used to be. And I think that is just a very precious picture.
Terry, and worked in intelligence, and is a fighter pilot, and is brilliant. And he saw very clearly right away what this was.
Yeah.
And even on the phone, when I called him, he knew. And he said, I think she's been kidnapped for ransom. And I said,
yeah.
What? Yeah. Well, why? What? And then, it sounds so like, how dumb could I be? But I didn't want to believe. I just said, do you think because of me? And he said, I'm sorry, sweetie, but yeah, maybe. But I knew that.
You did.
I hope not.
Now,
we still don't.
Probably out of this entire part here, this to me is one of the most weird things in this interview. And the reason I say that is because it's not even the kidnapped part necessarily. It is, but it's not. But kidnapped for ransom, and then ransom letters come out 2 days later. And it makes you wonder who is driving that home. Why ransom? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't, thank you so much, Trishy, for your sunshine, babe. Appreciate you very much. Very kind of you. I'm trying to hard it. The ransom part gets me. Thank you, Trishy, for that. I appreciate that, babe, very much. I'm trying to really put myself in their shoes, and I thought I would think maybe a burglary went wrong at that point, but I wouldn't think she was kidnapped for ransom. Keyword, partial kidnap. You know, that word's kind of partial for me, but ransom is what bothers me. The ransom part. Because I wouldn't think mom's been kidnapped for ransom. I just wouldn't think that. How often do you see kidnapping for ransom? I mean, I'm trying to think of my time here on YouTube and all the cases I've covered. I've never seen a kidnapping for ransom. You know what I mean?
What? For ransom? Even on the phone. When I called him, he knew. He knew. And he said, I think she's been kidnapped for ransom. And I said, yeah. What? Yeah. Well, why? What? And then, I mean, it sounds so like, how dumb could I be? But I didn't want to believe. I just said, do you think because of me? And he said, I'm sorry, sweetie, but yeah, maybe.
Because of her. Yeah, maybe. Don, thank you so much for the cheers, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much. Very kind of you. Thank you very much, hon. And V, thank you for the sunshine. Really do appreciate that, my dear. And Steffi, thank you for the flower, my love. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you guys for sending those. Thank you. And yeah, thank you again, Don, as well, for the cheers. And again, like, I really want to know, did Annie and Tommaso say to Cameron, do you think, you know, mom was kidnapped for ransom? Or did Cameron just come up with this on his own? Because that's a hell of a coincidence, in my opinion. For him to say, I think mom might have been kidnapped, comma, for ransom. And then 2 days later, this ransom letter comes out. And then why not have a security system worth it for? I know a lot of people say that there's been Dateline episodes on a family in Mexico, I think, but the kidnappers definitely. Now, that's the thing, right? So kidnapping for ransom is very common in a lot of other countries, developing countries specifically. I've told you guys when I've been to India, Pakistan, parts of the Middle East, you have to hire someone to be your bodyguard. They're cheap because they will kidnap you. They kidnap children all the time because they're so poor that they just trying to feed their family. They don't want you. They just want money. And it happens a lot. I think she's in Mexico, but not alive. But it just you just don't hear kidnapping is one thing in this country, but ransom, you just don't hear that anymore. Out of all the celebrities, I never knew who Savannah was until this happened. Really? I knew exactly who Savannah was, but I heard he was in town earlier. If you mean Cameron, no, he wasn't there whenever she went missing. So it's because of Savannah. The question is why? I mean, here's the thing. Like I said earlier, I would think that again, the porch guys, it's not Tommaso. So I can see some local rug dealers or local math addicted people saying, "Oh, that's Nancy Guthrie's mom. Let's take her. Let's take her." And things go south. That's not my number one theory, but I can see it. I can't shake Nancy's caregivers, though. I just can't.
But I knew that.
You did.
I hope not. I mean, we still don't know. Honestly, we don't know anything.
No.
We don't know anything. So I don't know
You think so?
that it's because she's my mom and somebody thought, oh, that girl, that lady has money. We can make a quick buck.
Well, and this is the other thing, right? Allegedly, Luke grew up in this neighborhood, right? Knows people in this neighborhood, has allegedly been caught smoking things, allegedly, in abandoned houses in that area whenever he was younger. And he says he doesn't know anything about this neighborhood. Didn't know Nancy or any of that. Justin, where was Cam when she told Savannah? And was Savannah in New York? Yes, they were on the East Coast, brother and Savannah. Tanya, I agree the family could have at least hired a search team. Makes no sense to me. I think that, yeah, but I also understand they may just want to follow what the FBI is saying too.
I mean, that would make sense, but we don't know. But yeah, that's probably, which is.
Well, but when Angel Kisses says Luke was a small time rug dealer. What's small time? I mean, pallets? Is that what you mean by a big time rug dealer? Someone doing some, it just depends. I mean, they paid for a Range Rover in cash. And I don't believe his mama bought it for him. I don't believe it. I believe he might have, in my opinion, put the cash give mama the cash with mama's bank account and put it in mama's name. And that's exactly right. That too.
Too much to bear. To think that I brought this.
I mean, it's not every day someone pays for a car in cash, let alone a Range Rover in cash. I mean, I'm doing good to get Taco Bell. So I don't know how someone's paying for a Range Rover in cash.
Bedside. That it's because of me. And I just say, I'm so sorry, Mommy. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to my sister and my brother and my kids and my nephew and Tommy and my brother-in-law. I'm like so sorry. I'm so sorry. If it is me, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom.
In the initial days, you and your sister and brother sat together. In all the despair, you sat and managed to think of words to say. How were you able to do that in that moment?
Well, my siblings are amazing.
I think it would be really hard. I think that I really think it's probably very hard for Savannah to, I think it would be hard for anybody to think that you're a family member or maybe their spouse could do something. But this is the thing. She has lived away from them, and you don't know people's day-to-day lives when you haven't been there in years. You know what I mean? You only know what they allow you to see. Hey, darling, good to see you. Let's see here. T Slay, thank you so much for the 500 jewels. My goodness, thank you so much, dear. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, love. And Trishy, thank you for the 200 jewels. Appreciate you very, very much, hon. And Girardi, thank you for the 500 jewels. Thank you so much, honey. Very kind of you. And CZ, hey, darling, 200 jewels. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you very much. Very kind of you guys. Those are very kind to me. I appreciate you. Yes, very hard to think family would be involved. Yes. Yep. Sure is.
And we are a unit.
I don't know. To me, like, Annie feels like the dark child. She does. I'm sorry, y'all. She feels like, all your siblings are different, right? And success is truly in the eyes of what you think success is for you. But materialistically, success that Cameron has had and Savannah has had are much different than what Annie has had, right? When you put it on paper, at least. And so we just don't know this, the different struggles that they may have had.
And I talked about how brilliant my brother is, but my sister is equally brilliant and also has special powers of intuition and faith and language
Marsha.
and depth and heart. And I feel like we came together with all these beautiful gifts that came from our mom and dad and from God. And somehow together we did our best to.
I feel like if it's anything, yeah, she said powers. I feel like if it's anything that it's, they bought 2 houses last year within just a couple weeks apart. It makes you wonder, were they over their head? Sometimes when people get over their head and stress happens, they panic and they'll do things in times of desperation.
Come up with the words to say.
I don't know.
And I haven't posted one thing or said one thing that the 3 of us haven't decided together. It is surreal. How is it possible that we are having to make a video speaking to a kidnapper who took an 84-year-old woman in the dead of night in her pajamas with no shoes, without her medicine. This little person. And to beg for mercy.
In the days that followed, multiple notes demanding payment were sent to various media outlets.
The ransom notes or ransom.
You see, that's the thing right there, right? That's the thing right there. Then the ransom letters came. She said, her brother said, they took her for ransom. Then the ransom letters came. Is that just a good guess?
Requests came. Did you believe those to be real?
There are a lot of different notes, I think, that came. And I think most of them, it's my understanding, are not real. And I didn't see them. But, you know, a person that would send a fake ransom note.
Now, AMG says A&T together probably did not earn $100,000 a year. Is not enough for a $650,000 house, even if they used proceeds for the sold house. I think Nancy said no to helping them financially, in my opinion. Or she could have, given them till she can't give anymore or whatever. I don't know. There are people that says that Tommaso wasn't actually working at the time. I don't know.
Really have
wasn't teaching.
to look deeply at themselves.
Yeah.
To a family in pain. But I believe the 2 notes that we received, that we responded to, I tend to believe those are real.
Really? When the Ring camera video surfaced and you could see who that person was, just tell me what you thought when you saw those images.
That was creepy
of
as
the
fuck.
person who
When we saw this guy.
who took your mother.
I mean, it's just absolutely terrifying.
Exactly.
It's just totally terrifying.
It's weird, isn't it?
And I can't imagine that is who she saw standing over her bed.
Yeah.
I can't. It's too much.
Yeah.
And I'm glad and grateful to the investigators and the technology companies that were able to find that video. Do I hope, at least with people of good heart and compassion, stop the irresponsible and cruel speculation that had started to swirl.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
I'm glad that people saw
Yeah.
what came to our door.
That gave me the chills when she said that, what came to our door. Because someone did come to that door. That is for sure. Who that is, I don't know. But I don't give a damn if you did this because you were mad or because you were hired. You are evil to do this to an 84-year-old woman, elderly, who had no chance to even fight back. You're a coward bitch.
Yeah. When you talk about the cruel speculation, the whispers, the innuendo that it was somebody in your family, how did you weather that?
It's unbearable.
Yeah.
And it piles pain upon pain. There are no words. There are no words. I don't understand. I'll never understand. And no one took better care of my mom
Listen to
than
this.
my sister and brother-in-law. And no one protected my mom more than my brother. And we love her, and she is our shining light. She's our matriarch. She's all we have.
Savannah and her family.
And at this time, by this time, if you remember, Savannah, Annie, and Cameron came out and said they responded to one of those ransom letters. And it says, "We hear you and we understand." Because the first ransom letter said something to the effect of, "Time is of the essence." The next day, the letter came, the ransom letter, and it says, "Time is no longer of the essence," meaning she's deceased. Then Savannah, Annie, and Cameron come out and they say, "We hear you and we understand, but we still need our mother." I think that's very important because we don't know everything that was in those ransom letters, right? Carmelita, look at you, little sashaying up in here at 25 months. How you doing, girl? Hello, Justin and Pearls. Our internet keeps going out, but I did like the video. Well, look at you. Thank you so much, Miss Carmelita. Love you to pieces, darling. We're getting storms. Have y'all been getting storms for my American people where you are? Ugh, it's been bad here. Savannah wasn't optimistic or excited of the ransom note. I would be so hopeful. I think they might have been with the first one, but once they said time is no longer of the essence, they knew that she just wasn't alive anymore.
Family stayed together in Arizona for weeks as the media coverage grew more intense.
We had to move houses many times because people came and not everyone is respectful, unfortunately. You know, there was a night we had to leave in the dark in the desert, holding hands, me and my sister and brother and I.
I don't understand this part. Like, it's like they're all running out, holding hands, running through the desert. I just don't really get this part.
Get into a car waiting for us because the people outside were closing in. So we found a place that was safe, and then we couldn't really leave too much. So like those days are a blur.
Yeah.
Crying and praying.
How did your family feel about the way the investigation was conducted?
Well, it's still going.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't think that they are happy with the investigation, in my opinion, now that we know, we got hindsight now that the FBI is the one speaking to the family. Nanos isn't.
People have worked tirelessly. And we see that. But we need answers.
Hoda got a lot of criticism for this interview. A lot of criticism.
We cannot be at peace without knowing. And someone can do the right thing. And it is never too late to do the right thing.
Never too late to do the right thing.
And our hearts are focused on that.
To me, she just kind of like, I love Hoda personally. and I think she's great. But to me, I think she was just she just kind of overplayed it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like she was wanting to be that intimate girlfriend at that time. You know what I mean? Yeah. 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 Yes, I get it. So, you know, it reminded me of, I think it's Scary Movie, and they're acting like the Blair Witch Project, and there's like snot coming out over the camera. If you know, you know. That's what it reminded me of. It was just like a little too theatrical here, Hoda. But that was just me. But you know something? We're humans. People, it's not the end of the world.
I think.
Yeah. Okay.
You speak about your mom always in the present tense.
Yeah. I mean, she is present tense to me.
Do you feel her, or have you heard her any moments?
Yeah, a little bit.
Tell me about your mommy. Just tell me about her.
My mom she's incredible. She's resolute and strong.
I mean, I think she might have just wanting to make Savannah know that, like, to be real comfortable, with her.
Quiet strength, quiet faith.
I like how she describes Nancy.
Hard fought. She's funny. And
this photo of Nancy, it just makes me, I don't want to say sad, but it does, because you can tell when someone's failing, their body is failing and they're aging at a very progressive pace. And you can tell like her health is declining here already. And again, that's just one of the things that I've spoken about. Again, that is so weird. Who couldn't wait for an 84-year-old lady to pass naturally? I know that sounds maybe a little weird, but like I always say, statistically, after 78 is the average age for a woman in the United States. Statistically, she wouldn't be alive in a year. She could live to be 110. But who couldn't wait? Who wouldn't wait?
a little mischievous, I would say, in her humor. She's a noble creature. She does what's right. She
Hold on.
walks in.
Oh, no, honey. You aren't late. You are really late. Oh, Kimberly. Come on. We are portable these days. You can actually carry us on your phone. Ma'am. Give me your excuse. Let me look at it. Let me look at that excuse. Kimberly, to the office, please. Kimberly, to the office. We need a late slip mods for Miss Kimberly. She is late, and I mean highly late tonight. 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 3 seconds to be precise, Miss Kimberly. I'll take that excuse. Come on. Good to see you, Kimberly. Thank you for being here.
In faith.
Better late than never.
But not a fake, pious, put
Clock
on
it,
faith.
as
But
the kids
like
say nowadays.
a grounded, earthy, she fought for it. faith.
When you posted Please Pray in the beginning, the ocean of love and prayers, did you feel that? Did you sense what was happening?
I do feel prayers, I do. I believe that. I think she would have been just amazed, just truly amazed.
One of the images that stayed with me through all of this was you and Annie and Tommaso walking up and looking at the flowers and at the notes.
That was a total show. I'm sorry. That was absolutely nothing more than a show. They wanted that to be seen. Listen, whether they did, they have nothing to do with it or not. I'm not saying that they do, but that was a total fucking show. Listen, you guys know if Annie and Tommaso don't want to be seen or whatever, they're not seen. It's been the last 100 days. We know. But that was, and it was absolute optics. Absolute optics. I just think it was way overdone, in my opinion. Just the prison's politics would severely punish the man for messing with an old lady. The Mexican politics, that is not allowed. Absolutely. I agree. They looked awkward. I don't know. Even just like the way that they're like holding each other. I'm just bitching at things that don't really matter, but the way that they're just like even over dramatically holding each other while they're walking is just a little, I don't know.
As I saw that, I thought, I wonder if Savannah's going inside and what that must have felt like for you to go inside of your mom's, your childhood home, your mom's house.
Yeah, this is the house that we grew up in.
No, did not. I did not, Widow. Thank you, Widow, for 16 blessed months. I appreciate you. Oh no, Justin, did you say I'm a goner at 78? LOL. I'm not going anywhere. LOL. Not at all. Not at all. In fact, people are living longer and longer. However, I will just say, and I pray to the good Lord that everyone hears this. Lord, hear my prayer, that you all live a long and happy, healthy, prosperous life. Every voice that hears this, I pray. But I will say that working in the funeral home business and hospice, a lot of times there's something happens at about 76 to 78 mark. Your muscle mass goes way down, and many people start declining at that age. So if you are around that age, the best thing I can tell you, protein it the fuck up. Eat as much protein as you can handle. Seriously, I'm not a doctor, but telling you, protein, because your muscle mass declines, and then just protein. Trishi, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. 22 months. You are a rock star. Keep up the good coverage. And thank you, Trishi. Love you, baby. Good to see you. I really, really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for your continued support. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you, honey. God bless you. God bless you. I'm 76. Blessings to you. Blessings. Just eat protein. Telling you, you got to stay active. Absolutely. Stay active. Keep moving. Keep moving. If you're going through hell, keep moving. Yeah. protein, and keep moving. Those are two big things. We can't help a lot of things that, you know, happens, but you can do those two things, especially as you get older, because we lose a lot of muscle mass as we get older. That's why we shrink.
Really, the only house I've ever known and remember. So we moved there when I was about 4, I think.
Yeah, movement.
It's
Any
the house
movement
where
weightlifting.
I came home on a Friday night at 16, and my mom and sister were on the couch
Thank you,
praying
Grand Angel. Thank you, baby.
and told me that my father had died. It's the house where all of our memories are, good and bad. So it's hallowed ground.
They got a lot of history in that house.
My mom loved and treasured that house. In good years and lean years, they were able to hold on to that house. That's my mom's safe haven. It's really hard to see that.
Thank you. That's a compliment.
Eileen.
Appreciate you very much. Thank you, love.
And the terror.
Welcome here
that she
anytime.
must have felt
Love you talking.
is unbearable.
It's amazing.
It's unbearable.
Tell me, while you were spending all this time in Tucson, your kids were home, what do they know?
Well, it's so hard with kids because, you want to protect them. Dale would write me all the time, Mama, any leads? Any leads? Do you hear anything? Any hope? And I think that, we tried to talk to them and try to give them a little more certainty than we have, to let them grieve. And for my little nephew Olmo too, there's just a way
Got to
in
be
which
very
this
hard
is
for the kids and the family.
even so much harder on Annie and Tommy and Olmo because they're there.
They're there, yeah.
And they were there every day for my mom. They made it possible for her to stay in the house we grew up in that she loved so much. I think she always.
Now, it's not uncommon to for a mother-in-law or father-in-law, to maybe have some disputes with you or whatever. There again, it's rumor at this point, but there have been allegedly locals will say that said that Nancy and allegedly Tommaso, had some ups and downs, which again doesn't necessarily mean anything unless it means something. You know what I mean?
Stayed in that house because I think she still felt my father there. All our memories. Let her have her space. And there's just a way in which this is just even more excruciating for them and all that they've been through.
I know it was a hard decision.
That's for
you,
sure.
And I know you told me about this, was coming back here, leaving Arizona to come back to New York. Why was that so difficult, that choice?
I looked out the window of the airplane and just thought, where are you?
Yeah.
That desert, that beautiful desert that
My heart really breaks for Savannah right there. Can you imagine not knowing where your loved one is and just looking out, if you've ever ridden a plane, and just looking out and knowing that your mother or your family member is down there, but you don't know where? I get frustrated when I can't find my keys and I know it's in the house. I can't imagine my mother or a family member. You know what I mean?
She loves. Where are you? How could I leave you? But my mom taught me a lot about grief. Our family knows grief. My father passed when I was 16 years old. He was only 49. It was a shock. And I remember my mom saying in those early days when Daddy died, like, you have to get up and decide and do. Just decide and do.
I love that. Decide and do, because it is. It really is a choice. Life is a choice because it kicks the shit out of us at all of us at some point or another. And you just have to get up and decide and do. And that's exactly right. CZ, thank you for the 200 jewels, my dear. Really do appreciate that. Very kind of you. Thank you so much for that. And Deb, thank you for the 550 jewels. Thank you, very kind of you, my dear. Really do appreciate that, Ms. Deb. And Stickler, was it Stickler? Who else was it? Thank you. Yes, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Really do appreciate it.
And I'd read that in a book that
she's still in the Today Show.
A lot to her and her grief. And so I always remember that. So I'm trying to decide and do. Just get up and decide and do every day. You know, I've felt terrible grief, and I felt unfathomable love and comfort. The goodness and kindness of God is remarkable, and in equal measure to my sorrow. Wow. She showed us how to survive the unimaginable. When she lost my dad, she was 46 years old. She had 3 kids. She had never worked outside the home. She had to get up. She had to find a job. She had to mother 2 teenagers and 1 young adult just making his way into the world. She took.
Well, T-Slay, I mean, who is saying that Nancy is dead? The one of the ransom letters said that time is no longer of the essence, meaning that Nancy is deceased. If you again believe the ransom letter, I do believe the 2 letters personally. I do believe the 2 letters. And when Savannah, Annie, and not Tommaso, Cameron said after they got the second letter, they said, we understand and we hear you, but we still need our mother, meaning they still need her remains. It's not proof. It's not proof, but statistically, I would say she's way most likely deceased than not deceased. To me, there's just little room for her to be alive at this point. I mean, nobody's going to keep an 84-year-old that's on a pacemaker, a defibrillator, without her medicine. It just statistically, it just doesn't happen. It just does not happen.
Care of her mother, her brother, who had Down syndrome. She invited to come live with us. She worked part-time to make ends kind of meet. She found a way another job, a job she turned into a full-time job, a job she turned into a career. She had a second life of purpose and meaning. She had a million friends. She stayed.
I agree with that. Our journey, if ransom notes are real, probably written by Porch Guy, if that's Z or someone from another country outside the US, because it said USD for our money. Ooh. Did it say USD? Did it say USD? US dollar? Holy fucking shit. Wow. Wow. Because so if you've ever been to like a country where they take American dollars, they will say, like if you go to Canada or whatever, they'll say 10 US dollars or 13 Canadian. I think we're right on the fucking path, guys. We are right on the fucking path. That is something only, in my opinion, and they say they've been out of the country. Who always talks about being out of the country? Yes, it said US dollars. There's been analysis of this, but not enough. Let me find that comment again. Who said that? Let me see who said that. Our journey to paradise. Someone out of the country because it said USD for money. Let me look here. Nancy Guthrie. Ransom. I gotta look more into this. Let's see here. $4 million in Bitcoin by Thursday. Let's see here. USD. That's a very interesting way. Okay. I'm gonna go to this. This is interesting. Get me down rabbit holes. Okay. As the search for Nancy Guthrie extends into the second week, more details emerge about the alleged ransom note demanding a crypto payment. By the way, let's think of this a second. If you were going to use Bitcoin, that would be, it's a universal payment, if you will. You can use it anywhere as well, right? alleged ransom note demanding a crypto payment. A local Arizona TV station, KGUN9, reported that the alleged kidnapper had demanded $6 million in a Bitcoin payment. Well, shit, did they not give me the rest of the article? I have to subscribe. Well, damn. Let me see if it's over here. Let me look at this real quick. See if they got a USD here. If anyone's got that, please send it to me where they said USD. That's very interesting. Let's see here. I'm going to have to look at that. The family pretended to be kidnapped. Let's that sink in. Sounds like you might not be working for there anymore, so this stress is going to be. Yeah, I'm just looking. Let's see here. Nancy Guthrie. USD TMZ. Let me try this. If anybody's got it, mods, can y'all drop my email and all that? That's so interesting. There are a couple notes in the Nancy Guthrie cold case, both from the same person offering information on the kidnapper. But for the first time, they're revealing an exact location and claiming they saw her in Mexico. TMZ received the first note Monday morning, the same day Savannah Guthrie made her return to the Today. And it's the person who has been offering to rat out the kidnapper for nearly 2 months now. To rat out the kidnapper. You're right. They say their demand for 1 Bitcoin to deliver to them on a silver platter, quote, end quote, still stands.
Learning to handle.
Let's see what Harvey says here. Harvey. Let's go, Harvey.
You know, I will share a little bit of news with you. The person who has been incessantly contacting us,
although
saying,
stopped for a while.
Yeah. We got another letter today from this person, an email saying, I know where her body is and who the kidnapper is. Give me half a Bitcoin and I'll tell you. And this person has been really persistent, knowing that if it's a scam, it's a federal crime.
Yeah.
Right. But they also made the point that they wanted to make it clear that they have nothing to do with it.
Right.
They've been out of the country.
Do y'all hear that? Yes, if this is a scam, it's a federal crime. But they want you to know that they have nothing to do with it because they've been out of the country. They've been out of the country since what? I don't know, maybe they say 2019.
With it.
Right.
They've been out of the country, but clear that they have nothing to do with it.
Right.
They've been out of the country. Clear that they have nothing to do with it.
Right.
They've been out of the country. Do with it.
Right.
They've been out of the country, but out of the country, but they've been out of the country, but who knows?
We forwarded
again. We forwarded to the FBI,
right,
as we have in the past, and
right,
for whatever reason, and this is the thing we haven't figured out. You have to assume that the law enforcement, they believe that this person is not legit. Otherwise, they would have advised Savannah to pay the money.
Can we just be really transparent?
No.
I think you're right that the law enforcement doesn't. There's something.
I just can't figure out why.
Listen to what Harvey says. Harvey's absolutely right here.
Take a flyer. The price of Bitcoin
Listen to
is
this.
much lower now. These are like, you could just take a flyer and see what the person knows. The most you lose is 20 grand, 25 grand.
I'll tell you why. My spidey senses tell me that there's something about this guy, because
Harvey's an attorney. He works with criminals. He knows the criminals when he sees it and he hears it.
one of the emails he sent, that there's something about this guy. My spidey senses tell me that there's something about this guy, because one of the emails he sent said early on, time is of the essence to do this. And then the next day he said, time is no longer of the essence. If he was pulling a scam, why would you say time is no longer of the essence?
Right. You want to keep the value
you
high.
want to keep
of
the
your
value
information.
high.
Yeah.
And the fact that he said this made me think, this guy knows something.
Yeah.
Right. Time is of the essence. Time is no longer of the essence, but he wants them to know.
It's a way to look honest as well, though.
I'm not, look, I'm not FBI.
We're
I
not
don't
privy to
know.
all the information they are, but
You're talking about
just
the
from the
psychology,
outside
yeah.
looking in, it sure seems like this person knows something. Right. But they also made the point that they wanted
Really persistent, knowing that if it's a scam, it's a federal crime.
Right. But they also made the point that they wanted to make it clear that they have nothing to do with it.
Right.
They've been out of the country, but who knows?
We forwarded it.
Again, we forwarded it to the FBI,
Right.
as we have in the past. And
Right.
for whatever reason, and this is the thing we haven't figured out, you have to assume that the law enforcement, they believe that this person is not.
Okay. I'm telling you guys. What is it, Levy's house? Goose Justin said he read it, but didn't remember. Via text and email. Thank you, dear. Okay, let me look. Yeah, okay. Yep. Let me look here 1 second. I don't know if I got your text or your email. What's this? Okay. Okay, I got an email just now. Oh, that's good. That's good. Look at this. FBI's on it. FBI is mother chicken on it, guys. The tiny detail in the Nancy Guthrie ransom note that makes the FBI think the writers aren't even in the U.S. Nancy Guthrie's alleged kidnapper are demanding $6 million. It was revealed over the weekend as cops searched a septic tank on her property, and the deadline to deliver the cash by 5 p.m. Monday loomed. Multiple ransom notes have been sent out to the media, including the one that's sent to us, end quote, said reporter J.J. McKinney, whose Arizona outlet KGUN9 was one of 3 to receive the purported ransom note. Quote, in the letter, the potential kidnappers demand that the Guthries pay them $6 million before this Monday, McKinney said Sunday. That was the first time the staggering sum demanded for the 84-year-old's return was revealed since her ransom note emerged days after she went missing from her home in January 31st. The supposed ransom demanded payment in Bitcoin and provided 2 deadlines in their missive. One warning that they wanted $4 million by 5 p.m. local time last Thursday, and another saying that if that line in the sand was crossed, they would need $6 million by the same time Monday, or else. The note said the elderly grandmother's life would be in peril if the funds did not arrive by Monday, Deadline, KGUN9 reported. Law enforcement still has not verified if it was real. No proof that Nancy is alive or that the author has been provided, but details from inside her house were included in the note. Yes, details inside her home were provided. Okay. Hey, Anna. Excuse me. Here we go. Authorities have said that because they have so little else to go on, they have been compelled to take it seriously as if it were real. That prompted Nancy's Children Celebrity Today Show TV co-host Savannah Guthrie and her siblings Annie and Cameron to finally give in and issue a video statement Saturday saying that they were ready to pay. Quote, "We received your message and we understand," end quote. A despondent Savannah said in a video, quote, "We beg you to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate her." Quote, "This is the only way that we will have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay," end quote, she said. Here we go. But some experts remain wary of the ransom note, which specified that the payment be made in the equivalent of US dollars, which some said could indicate the sender was not in America and could be someone trying to scam the Guthries out of millions of dollars as they search for their mother. Well, Mother Chicken, it ain't a scammer. It is someone, in my opinion, in the middle Mother Chicken East trying to get their dollars. Mm-hmm. Quote, if you're a, thank you, look at this shit. If you're domestic, why would you ever put USD? You put 6 million. Former FBI agent Michael Harrigan told the Post. Let me see here. Is there a video to this, I wonder? Okay. Why would you use that if you're a domestic person? That points to somebody who might be potentially outside the country, said Harrington, who oversaw the FBI National Academy during his extensive career. That small detail lends that potential for being a scam, he said. No other communication of the kidnappers have emerged beside those. Okay. You see, this is the thing. Yeah. This is someone who, in my opinion, is out of the country. Shit, why is it not playing?
Where would you be heading? Who would you be questioning? And what's the biggest question mark you have?
Well, one of the most interesting question marks is motive here. This is very rare, a stranger kidnapping like this. Usually there are a lot of motives, but the only ones that would result in ransom demands would be either like ideological motives or financial. Here it appears to be financial, but the fact they sent him to...
And guys, when I say this, I don't want to come off as like but you know how I talk about kidnappings and ransoms are much more common outside the United States. It's more of a usual thing outside the United States. Sometimes those people outside of the United States come into the United States and can do things here. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound off, but it's true. Uh-huh.
There are a lot of motives, but the only ones that would result in ransom demands would be either like ideological motives or financial. Here it appears to be financial, but the fact they sent them to news outlets, that's unusual in a financially motivated kidnapping. It should go to law enforcement or family that would be actually providing that money if you're trying to get it. So that's one thing, but I do like to see how law enforcement is being very objective here. They're casting a wide net and keeping their options open, not just focusing on the ransom note.
From what we know right now, where would you be heading? Who would you be questioning? What's the biggest question mark you have?
Well, one of the most interesting question marks is motive here. This is very rare, a stranger kidnapping like this. Usually there are a lot of motives, but the only ones that would result in ransom demands would be either like ideological motives or financial. Here it appears to be financial, but the fact they sent them to news outlets, that's unusual in a financially motivated kidnapping.
Yes, and Mr. Z, yes, he does, Lori. Mr. Z likes TMZ Tucson on his page, and it sounds like, again, people that sends ransom letters, they send it to the family, right? They send it to the family. What's that, Anna Banana? Justin, that makes perfect sense. Come to the saying these tactics that are used for their, well, it could be. Could be. I don't know. But I think we're right there, y'all. I think we're right there. Mhm. Motive is need. Someone needed money desperately, but who was the head chef? They have contacts in the U.S. Did anyone see the video of the Middle Eastern guy stop by Nancy's very early on and ask one of the streamers if he was with TMZ? No, I didn't, Goose. Do you think that they're upset that they didn't get their money? I mean, let me tell you something, right? Let's say that this was purely for money. Purely for money. No family involved, let's just say. And they planned this for weeks because they did. If they were there on the 11th and something went south, you didn't get anything that you came for, right? The only thing you got is homicide charges. You wasn't expecting to get homicide charges. You're expecting to get, at worst, kidnapping charges, maybe attempted unaliving. But you didn't get none of it. Between Z, Luke, and the guy. with the bloody glove from the restaurant, I've been stuck on those three. I think two inside, one driver. I think I am stuck with Mr. Z and Mr. L. Well, they said they said that it was the back of the Range Rover, the plates that he worked there 6 years ago, and he just looked like the guy. It wasn't. It was something else. But I can't say what on here. They would not know she would pass on. Maybe. Absolutely, they wasn't. That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't expecting her to, pass. Very interesting, folks. Very interesting, and he's not getting back with me, Mr. Z. He's certainly not. He saw my message. You just don't know. It says Mr. Z. I'm trying to remember. I think it said he was an accountant. Oh, AMG. I hope he starts messaging me. What about the Bitcoin message to T6 million can be split along ways? What about the Bitcoin message to T6 million can be split? What was that? Let me find that message. Let me see here. The 6 million split refers to a 6 million ransom demand sent to local news station during the highly publicized. The ransom note was sent to local media outlets demanding payment in exchange for Nancy. Let me see what this guy says.
And here's the very latest on the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. It is a beautiful day here in Fresno. I'm about to take Tucker on a 3-hour walk out at
Tucker? Oh God, not the Tucker. I can't take another Tucker. I can't do it. Okay, hold on.
Before we leave, I just want to pass along the very latest. I promised one video a day on the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, and here's the latest that I know on this Sunday. That is new information that $6 million coming from TV station KGUN in Tucson. It is one of the TV stations that received a ransom letter that demanded the $6 million in Bitcoin. That information, it comes one day after the Guthrie siblings recorded that latest video that I shared with you last night offering to pay for the return of their mom. And that information comes just one day after the Guthrie siblings recorded that video saying they're willing to pay for the return of their mom. I shared that with you last night. Also new today, News Nation is reporting that police were back at Annie's house last night. Through shaded windows, they were able to see pictures that were being taken with photo flashes going off several times. After about 3 hours, deputies were seen coming out of that house with blue gloves on and brown bags, although it is unclear if there's anything in those bags or if any evidence was collected. Of course, you'll remember earlier this week, Ashley Banfield on her podcast had exclusive information saying that a law enforcement source told her that Annie's husband or Annie's boyfriend, I'm not entirely sure that situation ever got sorted out officially, was someone that investigators were looking at. His name is Tom, and that the Pima County Sheriff strongly disputed that, saying there's been no suspects, no person of interest. But it makes you wonder why there's so much attention on Annie's house, and if there's any truth into this anonymous law enforcement source that Ashley Banfield was reporting on early this week on her podcast. And it's been reported, and you already know this information from TMZ, that Annie and Tom were reportedly the last people to see Nancy last Saturday. They had gone out to dinner. They dropped her off at her house just before 10 o'clock.
36
and
mother chickens.
that was the last time they saw her. She was reported missing 1 week ago today when she didn't show up to church last Sunday. Second deadline, though, that second deadline for the ransom is closing in. KGUN TV reported the deadline is set for 5 p.m. tomorrow local time. Other news outlets have kept the ransom amount undisclosed up to this point, including another television station in Arizona and TMZ. However, KGUN later withdrew that amount of $6 million in Bitcoin, and investigators have not released that information. They have not confirmed how much these folks are asking for. The Pima County Sheriff's Office took to X today to post this, essentially saying that what they've been saying since Friday: no suspects, no persons of interest, no new details, and of course, if there are any, they will.
What's up? Thank you for the chili, my dear.
So that is the
Thank you
very
so much.
latest. It's not much, but that is what we've got on this Sunday. Follow me right now for instant updates on the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. And of course, for one thing to know every single day, I'm about to record that video as well right now. So I'll pass along updates as they come in. And that right now is the absolute latest. A demand of $6 million. I am Brian. And
Yeah, I believe they were certainly looking at them for sure. We need like 15 more likes to go before we have a chicken party. Hello, let's have a chicken party. Who is Aaron? Aaron is the person that called last night in Chris McDonough's chat. I wonder if KK watches in the bushes. Of course KK watches in the bushes. Hey Chloe, how you doing, girl? Love you. May, hi, good to see you, darling. Hello, hello, hello. But yeah, he called last night. He did take that phone call down. He took that phone call down. So I don't know. He says his name is Aaron with an E, but Chris doesn't believe it. Well, Chris will find out as soon as he hangs up. As soon as Chris ends that live, Chris will pretty much know who that is. Did someone say chicken party? They did, Carmelita. They did. It was about 2 hours. I got 10 minutes recorded. I think it's RN. Aaron is another one of Richard's many personalities, Teasley says. I think I heard that one sounded like an elderly gentleman, if it's the one I'm thinking of. I don't think this guy was elderly. I am going to be digging into that, y'all, tonight. That US dollars, man, that 10 likes. I'm going to like my own damn thing. Get there tonight so we can have a chicken party. Oops. Can I like my own thing? I don't know if I can even like my own thing. Ooh, I can like my own thing. How about that? And I'm going to like the other live stream too. Okay. Oops. What am I doing? Okay. All right, Justin, did you get to see I haven't got to see it. So I can't go back and watch it. No Pebbles. We're out forever. Unless somebody recorded that 2 hours. Here's a mess. Lord have mercy. He reminded me of the I'm sorry note writer. I'm sorry note writer? I don't know who that is. Thank you, Shannon. Sharon, thank you so much. There is a girl on a different YouTube channel that sent the clips to somebody, but I don't know if you want me to mention it by name. Message me or email me. You can say it. I don't care. No, he was fairly young. Yeah. Chris even took the interview down of his Facebook. Oh, Remy was giving me hell the other day. She was so hyper. People's like, Justin, your hair plugs are coming out. I'm like, if I had hair plugs, I wouldn't have hair plugs. I wouldn't have any hair plugs left if I had hair plugs. She'd pull them out. Luckily, there's roots on these things. Okay. They said they didn't mean for it to happen. Who didn't mean for it to happen? Chris? Making sure it's not up now. No. Nope, it's still not up. Da Juice. It's Da Juice. Is that a channel? DAA Juice. Da Juice. I've never heard of him. Okay, I'll look at it. The caller, I think, was about 34, 35. He's new in this case. Okay. He should have taken the interview down if he was stringing something along for mental illness. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Chris took it down for a reason. You can bet your ass he took it down for a reason, for sure. All right, guys, let's have a chicken party. I don't care if we got there or not, and I never do that. We need a chicken party after tonight, I think.
Christopher! Katie! Daniel! Christopher! A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit. Oh. Suck it now. A bullshit? Oh. Suck it now. A bullshit? Daniel. A bullshit?
Oh my God, look at Chris. Is that Chris? The following is an actual picture of me putting lipstick on.
Girl, how I look? Like a damn fool. No, them veneers don't make that look no better. Girl, bye.
The following is an actual video of Sheriff Nanos answering the phone at midnight.
Hello? Hello? I said don't disturb you, I'm cleaning my room!
RCMP, open up.
Get up off me. I said that's enough. Let my gut to the go. You act like you starving, Monquito. Now I said that's enough. You want to bite me? Huh? Okay. That's how I feel. Now get up off me. Got these people recording me act like I don't feed your ass. And look at your damn daddy just sitting there. You need to come get your damn daughter. She get this shit from you. Now let my damn titty go. You didn't eat. Let it go. Because at this rate, I'm not gonna care if Monkey Protective Services come get your ass.
Get your ass.
Now let them go. You didn't eat and you acting like you starving. Okay, we won't listen. We won't listen. Who is that? Oh, I thought I heard something. Now get your... Okay, let me just turn my ass around. Now didn't I tell you to let my shit go? Now I'm not about to keep playing with you in front of these people. I'm trying... Okay. Let me see who looking. Okay, hey.
That was us when we were growing up. I'm going to tell you that right now. Here is another Tucker.
My dog's name is not Fluffy. My dog's name is Tucker. 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 If you don't hear it, maybe you'll know what it spells.
Stop. You love touching my belly. Oh, you make me feel so sexy and confident. Oh, let me back up so you can look at it. Hi, look, babe. Stop playing. I just falls out when you do that to me, boy. Come on now. Oh, look at these legs and stuff you got. Oh, I think I want to touch and kiss up on you real quick. What's up in public? Let's do it right here in public, babe. What's up, boy? Come on, let's do it in public, babe. Stop playing with my time. Come on, boy. Come on, babe. Let's do it in public. Ooh, don't start nothing. Won't be no start, no shoe, won't be no stuff. Come on now, touching my titties and all that. Come on, boy, in public. Ooh, let me take this leg real quick and then. Ooh, where you going? Where you going, babe? Come here. Touch on me. Tease me. Nah, for real. Come on, let's go. What you doing? Baby, come on now. We got to get to the barbecue. Stop playing now. Stop playing with my time. Oh, let me get up here. Oh, look at that butt. Oh, take this shirt off real quick. See, let's go on and get wet out. Let's show them the way, because you know I do what I do when I do it. Come on, babe. Come on. Oh, this shirt is cute. Come on now. And let me tell you something. Why you liking that girl photograph on Instagram? I told you about getting too friendly-handed on Instagram. Stop liking their pictures. Stop liking their pictures. Do you hear me? They don't need you, know you. Stop. Stop liking their pictures playing on my time. Come on, babe. Let's go. I'm hungry now. They waiting on us. I want me a rib sandwich with some little cheese. Boy, get from behind me. So you.
The following is an actual picture of me eating some fruit.
Let me see what's going on with this little piece of fruit, baby. Clear my throat. Got a good little ring to it, not tart at all. Very sweet. Let me get on up here, baby. I don't need everybody in my mix. See, you don't need to see Big Mama eat her oranges. Go on back the camera up and stop playing with my time before I get active mode face.
Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
They can shut their chicken tone, chicken bone, Google Chrome, no home flip phone, disown ice cream cone, garden gnome, student loan, full-blown Indiana Jones, overgrown Flintstone, X and Y chromosome, red zone, Sylvester Stallone, AutoZone, professionally seen silver Patron, head the fuck up, okay? Hold on, Mom. Well, I can't.
How you doing?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing? Get it, Remy. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Got Remy's little rattle there. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really, really do appreciate you. It's been a good live. Special thanks to mods, members, chat, all of you guys. I really do appreciate you. It's very funny, Justin, when your poetry is better than you like my 3-word poetry. Carmelita loves her chickens parties. She used to super chat all the time. The chickens. Carmelita, she couldn't get enough of those chickens. That was so funny. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. I do appreciate you. You guys are amazing. I'm going to dig into some of that USD tonight. USD. And I don't mean USDA beef. I'm going to be digging into the US dollar. See if we're going to find something. Hopefully, if you guys have any information, you will be 100% anonymous. You can text me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 307-228-4906 or alljusticeforyou@gmail.com. You will be 100% anonymous. Never say my sources. Ever. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Take good care of yourselves. You only get so many trips around the sun. Thank you, guys. Good night and God bless.